YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of Lucky Man Survival.
So as some of you guys may know, I do have a little one on the way. So we thought on one of our nice little nature hikes that we're doing today that we could talk to you guys about hospital bags and little go bags for the mothers to be, the fathers to be, and how to be prepared for that situation. Now, obviously, childbirth can be a very stressful situation for a lot of people. You know, in a lot of moments you get really stressed out. It usually happens at a moment's notice. So having something like this set aside, ready to go, so that when you are ready to go, you just grab it, get in the car, and get to the hospital as soon as possible. So today what we're going to be covering is going to be hospital bags specifically tailored towards new mothers, new fathers who are on their way to have children. All right. So let's kind of talk about what we have here. So,
well, before we get into it, we did ask a lot of different people, some different sources in our life, what they brought to the hospital, what they wish they brought to the hospital. And FYI, my mom was no help. All I got from her was, you were born 25 dang years ago. How do you expect me to remember that long back? Anyway, I'm going to kick it off to John. He's going to go over everything he's prepping for the hospital for you guys and talk about some stuff that they give you at the hospital as well.
All right, guys. So what we have here today. So the first thing we have is for you new mothers that are not sure if you're going to be able to breastfeed or not. This right here in this bag is a breast pump. Now, I know that it's kind of weird hearing from a guy talking about a breast pump, but I am a father of one, soon to be a father of two. So these are things that I have to be prepared for. Now, in the hospital, this is one thing that they do not provide for you. You have to purchase it ahead of time. So when you go to the hospital, if your child does not latch or you have any problems with that, this is a great way to make sure that you can mitigate being able to feed your child without any complications. Now in this bag, we have breast pumps, we have a couple bottles. I'm not gonna really go into detail in this one. Just know that this is something that, unless you know that you can breastfeed, this is something that you should make sure you bring with you. All right, now inside here, this is mainly tailored towards my wife. Now, in this situation, there are a few things I'm going to add to the bag to help myself, but basically all I'm going to add for myself is going to be a phone charger. Now, the reason why is because obviously I'm going to be at the hospital with her. I'm already going to be dressed. I'm not going to be going through any surgeries or anything like that that might affect my clothes. So if I'm in the same outfit for 2 or 3 days, so be it. I'll smell and I'll be okay with that. But you have to make sure that your wife or yourself is ready to switch out of clothing. Most likely you're going to want a gown of some kind. Most of the women in my life told me that they didn't want to wear pants afterward. They didn't want to wear jeans. They basically just wanted to wear a dress. Now, everyone who has had a child before knows that basically once you leave the hospital, you're going to be basically in a giant diaper. So having something that's going to be a little bit more comfortable, you know, a sundress or maybe a nightgown, that's kind of the option we want to go here, okay? Now, let's get into this bag a little bit. So the first things first is a belly band. Now, after you give birth, you have a lot of excess weight that your body may take some time to relieve itself. And, you know, being in a hospital bed for a couple days, you might have some back problems. So having a way to support your belly is a great option. Now, this is my wife's nightgown. It's going to be what she wears out of the hospital. It's just nice. It's got pockets, you know, just kind of a comfy dress for her. All right, now for you new parents out there, one thing you definitely don't want to forget in the hospital bag is your child's coming home clothes. Now for this, as you guys know, I have a little girl on the way. This says, after every storm, there's a rainbow of hope, and here I am. Alrighty, so you want to make sure that the outfit that your child is going to wear out of the hospital is going to be in this bag as well. Especially, now one thing that I made sure I added is a camera. This is a Polaroid camera, one of those small little Polaroid films cameras, because my wife likes to do scrapbooks. So being able to take pictures of the newborn, everyone in the hospital, we have a whole roll of film and full battery charge and extra batteries for this. So we'll definitely make sure that we can take those newborn photos. Now, some other things that you might want to include, depending on the time of year, for us, it's a little cold. So making sure my wife has a beanie or something that she can cover her head with to make her feel a little bit more comfortable, it just might be a nice little option. Now, the last thing I have in this, I'm not going to show on camera, but it is underwear, socks, and some little things for my wife to wear as well with her clothing.
Show it on camera because you wear tidy whities.
Shut up. So in this bag, I'm not going to show it on camera, but basically this is women's underwear, socks, stuff that my wife will be able to wear. And the reason why it's in a wet bag is because if she is wearing underwear at the hospital that, you know, her water broke in, I can put it in the wet bag, put it back in the bag, and I don't have to worry about it getting anything else wet. All right, now the next part of this bag is going to be feminine hygiene products, okay? Now, for most of you women, you know that once you give birth, you should not be applying tampons to yourself. It should be pads only. So we have some extra large pads and some things to stop with the bleeding. We also have entertainment. It can be a book, it can be an iPad, you know, maybe a game system, something like that, because sometimes labor can go for a very, very long time. And trust me when I say, when you're sitting in a hospital and you're just waiting for that baby to come out, you're going to be kind of bored, a little nervous. So having a way to just kind of calm yourself down and just relax, I would always encourage that. And then the final thing in this bag is going to be the phone chargers. Now I have a brick in the back for plugging into outlets, a charger for my wife, and then I also have a solar charger as well. Now, the reason why I have this is because if we just so happen to be in a room where the outlet isn't working or something like that, I have a way to charge her phone at least once so that we can make the phone calls once the baby arrives. All right, guys. So that's just kind of the basis of it. Now, some additional things you might want to consider. For the first thing is having a list of people that you want to call, write it down. That way, if, you know, in the heat of the moment with everything going on, you know who you're going to call, who you want to call, and make sure that who you want to have there with you is ready and can be there. Another thing you want to consider is making sure that you have a list of your wife's allergies and anything that she may be allergic to during surgery or anything like that. Now, we all expect to have a natural vaginal birth and nothing crazy happens. But here's the reality, guys. When you have something like that happen, a emergency C-section is always a possibility. And if your wife is going under or if she's going into surgery, you always have to make sure that if she's allergic to anything like penicillin, amoxicillin, anything like that, you want to make sure that you have a list of those things ready so that if the doctor asks for any of her allergies, if she's not conscious, you can make sure that you can take care of that. And the final consideration we have today, in my personal opinion, is making sure that you make your wife as comfortable as possible and try not to panic. Even when your water breaks, you usually have a minimum of 1 hour before that baby starts to come out. Now, sometimes there are outliers in that situation, but for the most part, you still have a couple hours. So don't get yourself rushed. Don't forget your bag. And the biggest thing is don't get all hyped up and drive fast, get yourself in a car accident because you're panicking. You need to be able to remain calm. That's why we plan for these things. Because if you know you're not running around gathering the items you need, as long as you make sure that everything's fine, I think it is a great adjustment for the new dads and the new moms. All right, guys. So if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. We're going to post more stuff like this for family-related stuff as well. And we hope you guys like it.
And don't forget, death is the rule, but survival is the exception. Y'all have a good one.
And the last thing I'm going to say is this, guys. If you are going to be a new mom or a new dad, congratulations. Welcome to the parenthood family. And we'll see you guys next time.